Research paper writing. For some, an easy task. For others, it can be quite daunting. This seminar is designed to help with that process. The principles laid out in this video will assist students at all levels with the process of writing a research paper. From this video, you will learn how organizing your paper's main concepts acts as the building blocks for constructing a well-researched paper. You will also see what tools are available for getting correctly formatted source citations. Lastly, you will be shown the process for proofreading and editing your papers. Writing a paper follows 10 essential steps that are useful for any sized paper. These steps are looking at the assignment, doing some pre-research, writing a thesis sentence and outline, coming up with keywords, researching and analyzing resource materials, writing a paper, in-text and source citations, and lastly, editing and proofreading the paper. A paper's topic can be assigned or taken from a list. Generally, this will be broad in scope. The paper's length will suggest the number of resources that will be needed. A good rule of thumb is for every page there should be at least one or two sources listed as works cited or as references. Next, take a look at the date the paper or project is due. You want to allow for enough time for doing the research, writing, editing, and proofreading. Before doing any research for your paper, an excellent practice to follow is obtaining some background knowledge about the subject. Background information helps with understanding the surrounding times and events that might be related to the topic. Some sources that you might want to try are your textbook, encyclopedia articles, and internet resources. Once you've done some reading, think about the information read. Look for elements that sound interesting or that pique your curiosity. These can become the keywords used in formatting your search strategy. The thesis sentence is a working sentence that is the foundation for all aspects of your paper. It does not need to be elegant or grammatically correct. It should contain both primary and secondary subject elements. The following sentence provides an example of a thesis sentence used for a history paper. In the late 19th century, railroads played a significant role in the country's westward expansion as seen by the growth of cities, commerce, and communications. The primary elements are railroad expansion in the 19th century. The secondary elements are population, businesses, telegraph and telephone, which are communications. The outline gives the structure and flow of the paper. The primary topics, railroads and the 19th century, become the backdrop. The secondary elements are what interact with those elements. These then become the main topic points in the structure of the outline. The subpoints are supporting examples within each group. The keywords derive from both the thesis sentence and the outline. These become your search terms for the catalog and databases. When searching, think of possible synonyms and alternative spellings of key words. Research is the process of locating resource materials. The library has a vast array of resource tools that are useful for finding information on almost any topic. The library's online catalog and databases will provide 24/7, 365 access to thousands of print books, full-text ebooks, journal articles, and streaming videos. Another benefit of using the library's electronic resources is that both the catalog and databases provide automatic source citations. When allowed by your professors, searching the internet can provide you with valuable information. The resources found through the internet should be examined thoroughly and apply the CRAP test. CRAP stands for currency, relevance, authority, accuracy, and purpose. Reliable websites will end with .edu, .gov, and .org. Another point to remember about using the internet resources is that you will be creating the source citations from scratch. Depending on your topic, you may use some to all of the different types of resource materials. There are five main types of these materials: books and ebooks, journal articles, newspapers and magazines, letters and diaries, audiovisual and graphic files. Books and ebooks are broad in scope and provide comprehensive and historical coverage of topics. Journal articles give current and historic subject-specific information. Newspapers and magazines are eyewitness descriptions of events at the time they occurred. Letters and diaries provide personal perspectives and narratives. Audiovisual and graphic files enhance the learning experience. When doing a keyword search, use limiters such as full text, publication type, date ranges, and geography to refine your results. Consider using narrower versions of keywords. With the library's resources, you can also acquire your source citations. Keep in mind that the citation tools available will do about 95 to 100% of the work for you. However, errors still need to be checked for and corrected. After you have finished searching for materials, read through them. Look for and note passages that contain your paper's key concepts. You may want to use color coding or other methods to designate areas with similar ideas. A tip: keep a record of source information and page numbers for your paper's in-text citations. Your paper tells a story. It can inform your reader about people, places, or things. It can persuade an audience to a point of view, or provide an in-depth analysis of a piece of art, music, or literature. The introduction is broad and becomes progressively narrower in focus. It serves to introduce your reader to the concepts presented in the paper. The last sentence or two should resemble the thesis sentence. The introductory paragraph establishes the cohesive thread that will run through the paper's contents. The body of the paper explores each of the topics introduced in the introductory paragraph. The first and last sentences of paragraphs should link the concepts, providing a transitional flow. The concluding paragraph ties everything together. Structurally, it is the exact opposite of the introductory paragraph. It will start out narrow in focus and become progressively broader as it ties concepts together with conclusions drawn. Some writing do's and do nots. Your paper is a presentation of facts and conclusions. Sentences should be clear and concise. You want to use the formal, impersonal, objective third-person voice. Examples of the third-person voice are it, one, and they. Verbs are usually going to be in the past tense, and you want to watch for verb-noun agreements. If you are using acronyms or abbreviations, spell out the acronym or abbreviation the first time with the acronym or abbreviation enclosed in parentheses. After that, you can use the acronym or abbreviation in your paper. Some do nots. Do not express personal opinions, such as I think or I believe, which can show personal bias about the topic. You want to refrain from using the first and second person voices. Examples of the first person voice are I, me, mine, my, we, and our. Examples of the second person voice are you, your, and you are. The one exception to not using the first person is when the paper presents data and conclusions that were gathered by yourself. You also want to refrain from using contractions, slang words, or cliches. Provide in-text citations for all direct quoted, paraphrased, or summarized material used in the paper. For MLA, the format, generally speaking, will be parentheses, the author's last name, a space, the page number, and then a closed parentheses. For APA, the general format will be parentheses, the author's last name, comma, the publication year, close parentheses. Please note, APA requires the page number for directly quoted material. The format would be parentheses, the author's last name, comma, the publication year, comma, a lowercase p, period, and then the page number, followed by a close parentheses. If there is not a page number available, provide the paragraph number. The format for this is parentheses, the author's last name, comma, the publication year, comma, the abbreviation PARA, period, followed by the paragraph number. For direct quotes, the in-text citation comes immediately after the close quote mark and before most punctuation marks. For paraphrased and summarized material, the in-text citation comes after the referenced material at the end of the sentence and before the period. All in-text citations used in the paper must have a source citation listed after the body of the text. In MLA, the source listing is called Works Cited. In APA, the source listing is called References. Consult the appropriate style manual or the Purdue Online Writing Lab, or OWL, for the proper formatting of both the in-text citations and the source citations that are to be used in your paper. Sources should be in alphabetical order by the author's last name or by the title if there is not an author. Sources are double-spaced without blank lines between listed citations and in a hanging indented paragraph format. Source information should be as complete as possible. Providing just a source's URL is not sufficient. For MLA-style papers, the work cited is on its own page. Center the words "work cited" on the top line of the page. And even if there is only one source listed, use the plural works. Works cited is not to be underlined, bolded, enclosed in quote marks, or written in all capital letters. For APA-style papers, the references page is on its own page. Center the word references on the top line of the page. And even if there is only one source listed, use the plural references. Do not underline, bold, or enclose in quote marks or write references in all capital letters. For editing, you want to read and review your paper. You are correcting for logic, flow, and readability. Check for redundant wording, syntax, wordiness, and inconsistencies. Look for spelling and grammatical errors, verb-noun agreement, and verb tense. For proofreading, the best way is to read the paper out loud, listening for clumsy verbiage and tripping of the tongue. Note that any pauses that occur when reading the paper's text, as they indicate the need for either a period or comma. The process of writing and proofreading may need to be repeated multiple times. The library offers many levels of assistance with term paper writing, both in person and virtually, through its research paper mentoring service. This service includes getting you started with your paper's outline, thesis sentence, and identifying key words. You will also get assistance with creating an effective search strategy for searching the library's catalog and databases, as well as harvesting source citations. The library will also help you understand the process of analyzing resource materials. If you need help with formatting, either in text or source citations, the library is here for that as well. When you have your paper in its final draft version, you can bring it to the library for proofreading. You can also email it to the library and receive feedback within 24 hours. To contact a librarian, you can phone us at 254-526-1621. You can send us a text message using your smartphone at 254-400-2275. You can also do a live chat during library hours, and the chat feature can be accessed through the library's webpage. You can send us an email. For questions, you would send them to referencerequest@ctcd.edu. For research paper mentoring, proofreading, or to request a personalized in-person or virtual session with a librarian, send an email to teaching.learning@ctcd.edu. This video has looked at the entire process employed for writing a research paper, from receipt of the assignment to exploring the materials available, to writing the essay, to finalizing and perfecting your paper's presentation. It also provides you with information to get assistance for the mechanics of writing a research paper. Thank you for watching this video on writing a research paper. We look forward to providing you assistance and proofreading your research papers.